Hello, does everyone's mic work here? Is everyone at Siege Camp doing well? Okay. Perfect. We thought we'd just give some. We're actually going to start on time, very uncharacteristically. We want to give announcement. The main Siege Camp team, they're currently away. They're on vacation, so we're some of the new unpaid interns that work at Siege Camp, and we've been told to make an update for this game. Uh, so, if does anyone else want anything to add, or yeah, could we give an introduction because I don't think most people know who we are on the Siege Camp team. So, or most Foxhole players. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead. Just give an introduction of who you are and what you do. All right. Uh, Following that.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's me.
sorry. Was the audio not working, guys? Can you hear us now?
Is audio not working?
Defender. Could we
Huh?
Defender? Could you speak again?
Okay, so I'm Siege Camp Defender,
Oh,
and
yeah. There.
I
Sorry.
mostly
It
just
was
like work
broken.
on the. Oh, it was working. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Just
So I'm
redo
Siege
it.
Camp Defender. I work on defensive Siege Camp, so like mostly defending the premises and also like security operations, IT, stuff like that.
Yeah. Perfect. Ping pong. You want to go? Explain who you are.
Uh, I'm Siege Camp Ping Pong. I play ping pong. I was in charge of map design and game direction, along with fucking directing both factions, the vision for both factions, design, creative stuff.
Yeah.
I also play ping pong.
Yeah. I know. You kind of you destroy us. Who
Oh
else do we
yeah.
got left? Yeah. At the office
I
in
can
Toronto.
talk.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm Teach Camp Charlie. Server is named after me. I have a really big Coca-Cola addiction. Like my room right now. There's like I couldn't explain how many. Maybe there's like 600 or 70-ish cans of Coca-Cola in my room right now. So
Okay. Perfect. Right. So the purpose of today is again we want to go over the quality of life update. The main Siege Camp team is currently busy on Anvil. We were supposed to have Siege Camp Primate come with us, but he's currently pregnant, so he's going and at the hospital. So we're down one dev. Siege Camp Trevor is just here in the background just to make sure everything's going good on the back end. So if you want to just wave hi and say everyone. Right. Perfect. Let's actually let's get on with it. Let's without further ado. Let's do the quality of life update. Okay, so this is going to be for update 65. Update 65 is not the next update. That's going to be this. The main Siege Camp team is actually working on that right now. So we're just working on the following one. So what's going to be in update 65? Well, first we'll go over our vision. We really want to ensure that we build immersive, persistent worlds driven by players. We want like an environment where thousands of players can work together, achieve a common goal. A gameplays first approach to development. We always care for our players over everything else, and we want to commit to innovation and a continual improvement in the game. And so, go inside this. There's been a lot of new developments like Airborne, and we're trying to make sure that the player experience keeps up with everything else. Right. So we want to go on our timeline. Ping pong. Do you want to add a little bit more to our timeline?
Yeah, for sure. So Airborne was a massive success. Added a lot of stuff. So I thought this next update, it'd be really good if we polish things out. Get rid of all the issues we're currently having with the game, improve the player experience. So that's what this update's focused on. So then we got, what was it? 65 coming up. There's another quality of life update coming around later this year. There's going to be some balance changes, quality of life, and probably some new vehicles, some variants. And like Winter 66 coming out to close the year. Couple more game features, and then changing to resistance phase as well. It's been really boring. Nobody likes the Fight Club in Deadlands anymore, so we're going to be doing away with that, hopefully, by adding in some immersive stuff that can really help to enhance the player experience. And then as well, probably the biggest change after that update will be the reworking of FOD, because nobody likes that Discord, so we're going to be fixing that from the ground up. And then, of course, development continuing on later into 2027.
Yeah.
We're fully committed to the game.
Mhm. Defender, do you have anything else? You want to talk about the Veterans Edition for Foxhole?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. This one was, in terms of thinking about how we wanted to approach this, I mean, what do you even define as a Foxhole veteran, right? Like in the first place, this was something that took us almost a year to even like understand. So, from my understanding of the game, I'm still new and I'm still learning about what's going on. There are players who've been playing almost over like thousands and thousands of hours, and clearly, if you have this level of dedication, you should be rewarded for that. And so, we're thinking about adding a premium edition where once you reach the certain qualified amount of hours within Foxhole, you receive the Foxhole Veterans Edition. And at a small little price of $29.99, you will have to pay a little more to get this, so you don't automatically unlock it, but you unlock the option to be able to unlock veteran status. And with the veteran perk, you get a lot more options. So I believe we had some other things going on there. Charlie, do you want to go on this? Because like you did work a lot more on what the benefits would be for the veterans package.
Yeah. So basically, what it's going to mean is that for all the vets, you're going to have a bigger player model. So like your player model will be nearly twice the size as the normal player model to account for ego. So that'll be really fun. All of your damage, all of your weapons, of course, will do plus 25 damage. So plus 25%. I'm sorry. And then any of your main like Cutler or Lunaire will also do more damage because of your coping vet status. So it'll be really fun. It'll inflate everyone's egos, and yeah, it'll be really cool.
All right, let's get on with it. Let's go to our first kind of like preview. Uh-oh. Okay, so let's go into some of our logistics quality of life changes that we're making for the game. So first, we want to touch on stockpiles. Stockpiles have been a big pain point for many players, and they've been really they help coordinated play, but there's things that we definitely can improve. And we've been listening to Foxhole feedback that you post on Reddit, the Foxhole Discord, and other places as well. And we thought to go over and do some of these things. So first, we want to increase the liquid crate size. Like right now, it's 1. It's really difficult to store liquids in a stockpile, which can be really troubling for many players, especially when you're trying to use stockpiles as strategic reserve of liquids. Next, we wanted the ability to recreate vehicles. So if you have at least 3 of the same vehicle, you can recreate them. That way, you don't have accidental miscrates, and then you have the stockpile management just tears apart, and you have one player kind of ruin an operation, or especially logistics operation. We really want to be more
It'll also
forgiving.
be really good at bringing back vehicles from the front line. So if you have 100,000 flatbeds in a front depot, you can recreate them, bring them back on the flatbeds. You bring back 4 at the same time, really. So it really helps the Logi players.
Yeah. We're also adding a little in-game notification, similar to like the attack notifications, when your stockpile's about to expire, because we know that especially smaller regiments, they don't have people keeping track of them, and that would make their life a lot easier.
It also has an API integration, so this is the one part that like we're most proud of, honestly. The notification can actually directly notify you through DMs, like on Discord or like any social media. It'll actually send you a phone call as well, and that one took a long time. I mean, just imagine that, like your stockpile is about to decay, and like you don't have to worry anymore. It could be 3 a.m. You'll get a phone call, and you can just log back on and like refresh your stockpile codes.
Yeah, we don't really want to punish players for having audacity to take a little break from the game and then having to worry about everything they worked so hard for being destroyed. Next, muddy vehicles can be submitted to a stockpile. We've got numerous complaints that it just slows the
Capital,
game
can I talk
down.
about this?
Say again? Yeah, go
Can I
ahead. Go
talk?
ahead.
Yeah, so
Go ahead,
this is
sir.
going to be a lot. So I know that all of y'all see those people with fire trucks, like right by a depot spraying water. Usually they have like no shirt on, they're a bit oily, like just from like the motor grease and stuff. The thought process with that was that making it so that they can just be submitted, we won't have any of that like obscure stuff. So this game, it'll make the game way more family friendly. Sorry, you can continue.
Yeah. We also want to put in damaged and non-disabled vehicles can be submitted. This doesn't apply to armored vehicles. Like if you have your armor strip, you won't be able to submit your vehicle. And it also is, I should have elaborated more. It depends on the vehicle class. So this doesn't work for tanks, but for logistics vehicles and trucks, this is really handy because we've had a lot of complaints, especially when you go to a logistics town that doesn't have a refinery and you get strafed by an aircraft and you have to go scrounge for some BMATs. And we've noticed a lot of player complaints about people stealing BMATs from bases when we determined most of that just to come down, just trying to repair a truck to submit it to a depot. So we thought like we could just remove this altogether. We also increased the custom pull amounts, so you can set up to like 1,000, and that way you don't have to set up an auto clicker. We think that if you need to use external tools to, make the game more bearable, then it's just poor game design. So we thought we just added that feature. People are going to do it anyways, so we thought just to make it more accessible. All right, does anyone
Found a
have
way to increase the slider size.
Yeah,
Finally, it was capped at 15. Now you can do it all the way up to 1,000. How crazy is that?
yeah, I know it took a lot of
I think a lot of
development
players will be really happy with that one.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Perfect. Does anyone have anything else to add to Stockpiles before we go to the next slide? No?
I think we're good.
Perfect. So, to add on to this, we thought to address the other facility buildings that people have complaints about. So squad and regiment queues have been added to the refinery. There's also this warning that will pop up before you pull something and it comes to public. We've gotten a lot of complaints for players that they like had especially explosive materials queue, and it all just gets submitted to public. And that was supposed to be their, a week's worth of logistics efforts to make artillery shells or different things. We want to make sure that, again, we don't punish players for accidentally misclicking. We want to basically add more and more basically go back options and warning.
And that actually ties in with the API stuff we've done as well. So similar to the stockpiles, how you can be notified if it's going to expire. You can also be notified if your refinery queue is going to expire as well.
Yeah.
Those ones are actually a little more. So the issue with our integration system currently is it'll only notify you for if your BMAT queue is about to expire. We haven't expanded it to EMATs, HEMATs, or any of the other materials. But for now, at the moment, we'll be looking into that.
Yeah, we're thinking that it's better to push something that's maybe not completely finished right now, but it's better that it comes out a little bit earlier so it can help more players, and it also lets the players know that we're listening to feedback and we really care about what they have to say, and we care about what our players are going through and their well-being and their quality of life, if you could guess that. Charlie, do you
And
want
then to add on to that as well.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I can take over. So then, in addition to the arrays spawning way earlier in the war, we also have way more intense and interactive resource gathering. It really rewards attentive gameplay, and it just takes the whole game, the whole resource gathering experience to a whole nother level.
Wait, so is this like you do like a little minesweeper puzzle, or like what?
It just takes it to another level. It's really engaging. Really engaging.
Yeah. Does somebody want to touch about the resource field changes? You want to take over for that?
I guess.
I think Siege can Trevor.
Trevor.
Yeah, Trevor. He's been making sure the stream's been going really, really quality. So, Trevor, you want to speak up or? Oh, I think Trevor's choking a little bit. Okay, well, you okay?
He'll be fine.
Okay, Trevor, you shouldn't be drinking on stream.
We talked about this, mate.
Okay, this is embarrassing. Okay. Okay, so resource field changes. The tech materials that we're going over, we don't want to just have it be exclusively tech materials or exclusively rare materials. We think that causes really toxic gameplay loops where people will just mine fields and they will let all the salvage and scrap decay just for looking for rare metals. So we thought we'd make it such that essentially every resource field has rare metals and tech metals at the same time. So that way it's more encouraged to do scrapping, and there's not just like the hunt and the massive QRF. We noticed that like especially when large ships come out, there will be regiments of people just basically going to field after field after field, and then we have really poor player interactions where they kill each other and they cause conflicts, and tickets are submitted over drama that could have just been completely avoided if we just distributed it equally. So we're going to try that instead. We also are going to have more active resource gathering. So if you stand statically one place and hammer, you won't actually get the full benefit of your swings over time. So we noticed that there's been
Really dynamic.
Yeah, there's going to be like the little shiny particle effects for this group comes around. They're going to move around a lot, and you'll be able to group a lot faster if you're attentively playing. And this is to discourage people from using alternate accounts or macros that we really don't want to. We don't have to moderate that. We just want to make it such that an attentive player is just more effective, and you would need so many more accounts to actually accomplish anything versus just having one person go through it. Perfect. Does anyone else have anything to say?
Are we on time?
Yeah,
I think we're falling a little bit behind time right now.
Oh yeah, okay. So logistics, quality of life, I'll just go over this one really quick. This is a simple change. But essentially we have a button now that you can refund the cost of building a truck or whatever you have building. It's really annoying, and we don't like new players getting confused because they missed one B mat or they missed one R mat, and then the vehicle has to be destroyed because they're looking around the place. So now it's just the option just to refund the building, and it just goes back into the player's inventory, and if it's too big, it goes into the garage's inventory. And that way we don't have these negative player interactions where they shoot each other's blueprints, because let's say you're at an active front and someone's trying to build a tank, or they got hit by an artillery round and they don't have enough RMATs. It's really unfortunate that like the player has to just basically sacrifice their work. Construction vehicles. This was pretty simple. We just expanded the advanced construction vehicle so it can dig trenches and bunkers now. We're a bit concerned about like the progression of how easy it is to build bases, so this will be subject to change in following wars, and we'll be watching this very attentively. We thought,
can I add something?
A lot of fine tuning is needed here.
Mm-hmm.
To add something onto this ACV change, it'll be up to tier 2 for filling bunkers. So like, actually, yeah, that's already a thing. But yeah, any tier 1 like thing you can dig. So if you have this whole mega base planned out, instead of using your tiny little legs, you can hop in an ACV and dig the entire thing out in your little ACV.
Yeah,
so it's really useful if you want to cover an entire field in like trench connectors, like little square ones. It's really useful if you want to do that, like cover an entire front with them. Just do it in an ACV. You don't need like 10, like 10 people, not boss people, to do it.
We saw that last war, and we were like, that's really cool, and that's a really fun idea, because like the whole maze dynamic, it makes you like hide for cover and stuff, and like you look like a little rat in the maze. And so we were like, yeah, let's like indirectly add that on as a change.
Okay, perfect.
Something I want to quickly mention to avoid this in the Q&A later that we'll have after the dev stream. I know players are going to be asking like, how much of the health buff are we going to have here? So we buffed all construction vehicles. All CVs are buffed by 500% HP. Because we realized like it's very low HP dive bombers, including new planes. It just makes sense to buff them to a new level that is in line with what's currently out there.
Yeah, we'll also add the disable percent is still the same. So like the vehicles are really tanky, but again, it's easy to disable them. So that way, if you're like partising on a road, you won't like have this invincible CV but you can't walk through or you can't interact with. But we want to be able to, you can slow it down, but we don't want to, waste players' times when they put lots of resources into a CV and, push it forward. Yeah. Let's head to the next slide. The aircraft hangars, we realized we were watching Airborne really closely. we needed to change how the aircraft hangars work. So we're putting aircraft parts can be now stored in the hangar. We really did not like having just these massive MTS or material transfer station spam of these private stockpile private pads that would go public, and then people get mad that people steal their parts. It was this whole disaster. We're just going to make parts be able to be put into the. Okay, we're going to be able just to make parts go directly into the hangar, so that way we just avoid this issue all again. Again, okay, we already addressed upon that.
Yeah.
Okay, Trevor, please look at the slides before you send them. Okay. Logistic quality of life, freighter. We know freighters have been a really huge pain point, especially for the colonials that rely a lot on like river logi. So their turning radius has been drastically decreased. It's not the same as it used to be. We're still using the physics, but they turn much more responsibly, and they punish a lot less of players who.
Hey, let's have lunch. I said, great. So we meet at a restaurant on Capitol Hill. His English.
Okay, and we open the bridge can be open for much further away, and
The range is like really increased because before, whenever you'd be driving a freighter, you'd slam into the bridge as it's opening. So we've just increased the range by a decent amount, so that you can open the bridge comfortably without losing all your momentum as well.
yeah. So the intent was that you could sail through the bridge without having to stop, because that speeding up and slowing down cycle is really, really annoying.
And even if you do run into the bridge now or any other obstructions, the acceleration of the freighters has been increased by quite a long amount.
Yeah, it's just
to help out.
Yeah, just to help out. So again, the entire idea is just to make it much more player friendly, encourage more freighter usage. Because the freighter is a much more efficient way to move materials, especially to seaborne places, and we want to encourage its use rather than just people just using trucks all day, because it gets very boring.
Something I want to mention that we forgot to include on the slides here
Yeah.
under freighter changes, directly with the bridge changes, like with freighters being able to actually open the bridges from further away. If there are any vehicles that are parked on the bridge, because this has been a recurring issue in the past, they get catapulted directly off of the bridge. So you will need to coordinate with other players in Hex if you are going to be crossing a bridge, because if you are driving across the bridge, your truck may get catapulted into the water. So we believe that this may interact and add like new sort of players having to work together, especially with logistics when crossing bridges, for example.
Yeah. We might change the dev branch. There is players putting like tripods on bridges that would stop them from being opened. We might make it such that if there's no enemy players around, it will just break the tripod. But we understand the reasoning behind putting those defenses, so it's a delicate subject, and more will be seen in testing. Miscellaneous changes. We also made it that if you set your your liquid transfer station public, people can just directly fuel from it. That way, there is much more utility for players setting up like gas stations that go along the way and help for refueling without needing to do this micromanagement and bring the crane up and down. It was just waste of time. So we just allowed you to directly fuel from it. It's also an option you can turn on and off.
We want to talk about how long this has been in the making with the vehicles can fuel from liquid transfer station directly.
A long
Like
time.
for freighters. Yeah.
A long time. Ever since it was first introduced, we wanted to introduce the ability to refuel straight from LCSs. So this is a huge milestone for the development team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. So again, we're hoping that we can get paid by Siege Camp eventually for all the work we did, because we're really aspiring members of the team. Also, small naval vessels can be wrenched to shallow water.
Too many.
Yeah. So we noticed
many
like there
hours.
was a lot of, boats that were like, especially motorboats that just kept spammed, especially when partisan players or people trying to like sneak around, and
They
would
park them under a bridge and you can't rebuild the bridge.
yeah,
So it
that's
just really helps out with that.
yeah. You could just move them now. It's not a big issue anymore. It's just an unfun gameplay, especially people getting stuck with like their large ships because some guy drove underneath the bridge and they couldn't be killed and the thing couldn't be moved. This just makes it a lot easier to handle all of that. Right. We didn't have a video for this, but we want to go over some of the new vehicles we'll be adding. So, Charlie, do you wanna take this? Charlie? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry, Charlie.
Yeah. So like everyone knows the movie Cars, so we're making a Tow-Mater tow truck, which is going to be a new add-on. So it's gonna be a variant of the flatbed, and it's gonna be able to tow all but the heaviest vehicles using a deployable tow hook. So it'll be like the crane, but it'll be a faster and more mobile crane. You'll be able to have 2 people in there. The passenger seat will be able to control the crane, and the driver's seat can drive, of course. This will be really useful for getting plane parts out of areas that are really hard to get them. So that'll be cool. Again, this is going to cost some RMATs. It may have some facility stuff. I know everyone loves facilities and how like facilities integrate into the game. So it'll probably be some like A1s or A2s that cost this as well to get this variant, but it's not going to be much.
Yeah. Again,
We want to give them a little sneak peek as to the potential future gameplay loops that we may be introducing, especially with the sort of new methods that can use for moving vehicles around with the tow truck.
So it's sorry. I think what the plan is to do is to have all of our light tanks. So like we have our bone cars, we have all of our like really early game tanks. You'll be able to tow with this. But once you get up to like Spatha's, MPTs, and Outlaws, that is like the more heavier versions, and so we won't allow these to be towed.
all right.
So anything with a smaller like hitbox.
Yeah. Let's just make sure we go faster because we want to be respectful of some people's time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've got to play ping pong after this.
Yeah. Fair enough. Good.
I think a lot of players are going to be really happy.
Yeah. So
100%.
this has been like the hardest part of this update. Is we wanted to make sure that facilities were just much more player friendly, and as well could be just easier to work with. There's a lot of constraints around the game where it feels like they're just arbitrarily put in place, and we wanted to address that. So we added more squad functionality to all the facility buildings, so you can have squad and regiment queues. You can also restrict access to who can make queues in your facility now. Like previous attempts were trying to make facilities all public entities, and it didn't really turn out too well. So we're making it such that people can't grief other people's facilities by setting unuseful private queues, or we had people who would make private queues like 1,billion pipes and there was nothing the facility owner could do to it. So you can now prohibit private queues and remove them. You also have a little user interface showing who made what queues, and if you're the owner or like in the squad leader of a squad that the facility's under in, you can actually remove that player's queue if it's seen as detrimental. So we really hope, we want to see how this plays out. We're afraid that players might abuse this feature to have revenge on players that they don't like. They're using their facility.
We'll abandon them.
Yeah, don't worry. We have ideas coming forward. That power changes. When you upgrade to the light pole, it also now you can have up to 50 megawatts and 8 connections. We're going to change the increase price of the light pole just to make it a little bit more balanced. And the idea is we just didn't like all these power lines that were eating up MSUPs that were going around, and these really complex power systems that were just feels like they were arbitrarily limited. We might have a
They
power
actually caused a
expansion.
lot of lag as well,
Yeah.
having all of those power connections everywhere.
They didn't help the server, they didn't help the players, so we thought just to increase the amount of connections and the wattage that can go through. Yeah. As shown in the video as well, small gauge, you can exit both on both sides. It's going to prefer left, but the left side's blocked. It'll just launch you out on the right side. It doesn't look too nice right now. It looks kind of glitchy and laggy, but we really dislike people getting stuck in their facility, and there was open
Yeah, this
space.
was just a dev oversight. Where we live, where we're from, we're just kind of used to exiting on only one side. Like most
Also-
vehicles, you can exit from one side. So we just had it on the, I believe, it's the right side. You can only exit from, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Also-
we weren't aware that there are other vehicles where you could exit on the other side.
Also, we're getting tired of people doing the unstuck command right now because all we see, like, we'll log on and we'll see like 30 unstuck commands, and we'll check the locations of the players, and it'll all be at facilities. Like,
Yeah,
come on, guys.
you shouldn't be punished for having open space. Continue on this, foundations. So when you place a foundation in a bunker, if there's a tree, there's a rock, it will just remove that terrain feature so that you can build there. It really looks bad when we're trying to do some like siege camp promotional videos of like some epic facility and there's just a random tree that the players can't remove. And I think that's just really bad. It looks terrible. It's really frustrating. Like we can build a rocket, and you can't chop down a tree. Like it's just not respectful of players. The trees will regenerate, although over time, kind of like over in-game year, the trees will regenerate, so they'll be like a little bush and they'll grow tall. It's faster than you expect if nothing's been addressed, because we really do like the forested environments, like say in Umbral. We think that the forest environments, do provide interesting gameplay, but we think the players should be able to dictate if they want that or not. So if you want to demolish like a piece of this forest to build a facility because it's a strategic location, but there's these unrootable trees, we thought it was really bad. Building foundations and bunkers, we should add bunkers. They're no longer blocked by puddles. If you, it won't remove the puddle. Like if you like just place a blueprint, it won't remove it. So you still have to dig up the puddles, unfortunately. But it just removed this unnecessary annoying step. Especially, we saw some footage of players trying to build push bunker base in a rainstorm, and they were building the bunker. They dug up the puddle, and then it reappeared, and it's just not fun. Like that's not respectful for players at all.
Do we want to talk about the trade-off, however, with this change?
Yeah, go.
So we also noticed that players were placing signs like every 10 meters on the road, and these would actually, for some reason, stop puddles from forming. We have actually, for roads, increased the amount of puddles
Yeah.
and have made it so signs don't work anymore. So you can no longer put signs on roads in order to prevent puddles from forming.
Yeah, it's also just to help with performance. Placing all those signs didn't help the server, so we're sorry, but this is something we had to do.
It's a valid trade-off.
Yeah,
It's a valid trade-off.
you'll-
But trust me, the benefits will be worth it for
Yeah.
making huge facilities.
So, if you want to revert this change, I don't think there's going to be people who want to revert this change. We'll
It seems
put it in
quite
the
popular,
QA.
actually.
We'll explain our reasoning later.
Dude, Trevor's on his like 5th beer. Jesus.
Guys,
Trevor, come on.
okay.
Told
Retrieval.
you. So,
You can now retrieve as crates from public queues in a facility. So that way, we have these massive unused like stockpiles of just stuff that people don't want to move forward because they're all uncrated. So now you can just crate it and you can put it in your private stockpile. We're going to see if that we need to change that a bit, if there's going to be too much stealing, but it's all subject to change. We might have like a cooldown where a player is limited to it, or the facility owner can set how much they want to be able to take as private stock. So, because we know some facility owners, they want to give everything away for free, and then some, they want to have like a public section, a private section. This lets you do that. And lastly, you can revert variance vehicles back to base model. You will also get a refund for it. So if you produce like a dump truck, sorry, not dump truck, those are a base model. But if you produce, say, like a tow truck, and then you don't need the tow truck anymore, you can just get the materials back from it. We thought also would help players, when they make something and they realize, oh my goodness, I didn't actually want this. Or there is a vehicle that they salvage from the front and it's not like the variant what they want. So I thought it would be a good way. We like to have like more of the recycling aspect and reusing stuff as a new gameplay loop, and we might expand that in future updates. Provisional roads. we gave a huge buff to provisional roads. We noticed that a lot of players were using them, and they were extremely poor for what they were doing. So they're not going to be as good as regular roads until you upgrade them. They're going to be costly. They'll use concrete, but I think it'll be really good for players to make their own routes. We really want to have more space be actually usable. So, for instance, if you have a large facility, we want to make it that you can build it further away from a road, so that way defenses can be built, or you can build your defenses somewhere else where it's not just a pain to get there. Yeah.
Before we move on to the next slide, I want to respond to, I believe it's G Forxy, who mentioned us, can we get road drainage? Do we want to talk a little bit about the road drainage part of provisional roads? I believe it's an upgrade that we had in the works currently.
Yeah. But I don't think
I
that's.
can talk about this one.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you worked on this.
So one new feature of the provisional roads we didn't include on this slide is because they're made out of gravel. It's really good at draining away all the water down towards, like, into the ground soil. So it filters away any puddles that could form. The only downside is you'll need to keep driving over provisional roads to keep the gravel sort of loose. Otherwise, it'll all like compact and puddles will form. But largely, puddles shouldn't form on provisional roads. So it'll really help you getting to your off-road facility.
It's
think
really
that
a
there's a-
trade-off. Yeah, there's
I
always
think that
trade-offs.
there's a question.
Yeah.
I think that there's going to be a question with this. So when the puddles drain, are they going to disappear, or are they going to go to the sides of the provisional road?
The puddles get added to like a hex-wide pool, so they'll actually reappear somewhere else on the map. So you need to have like the same amount of puddles in the hex that's raining. So the puddle will form elsewhere, ideally on a sort of larger road. But from provisional roads, no, it shouldn't have any puddles on them.
Yep. Perfect.
That's good to hear.
Let's go. Also, rail changes. I don't think it was too obvious in the stream, but when you get two rails together, they can automatically merge. But you don't have to put a switch into them. So if you have two rails go into one, we thought that would just be really nice for when you have a lot of players try to build like two rail sections and then they go into one in some places. So we thought that would be really, really nice. Both small and large trains can access the switches while they're conducting. You don't need to have someone hop out or stop the train. We thought that looked really stupid. It also slowed down players' time. It wasn't respectful of them. So now you can just switch it from. Reduce the material suppliers and rails. We want more people to use rail lines. We want to encourage their use a bit more because we think it's just a lot better way. It's more engaging. It's more fun. And it's a lot more efficient. So we don't want to. We want to discourage
as well.
We want to discourage truck use. We want truck use to be like more a front line, like a last step. We want more people using trains and more people coordinating with that. The puddles no longer block rail construction. Like I said, we're trying to see how we can balance puddles. We thought it was really annoying that you had to carry a shovel around anywhere just to like dig someplace in a rainstorm. We didn't think that was respectful of players' time at all. Train changes. We also extended the path so you could see further of where like the little UI path to go. This is going to help a lot for when you, or especially within one of the larger trains like the Black Bolt, where you want to switch the switch, and that way by pressing your interact key, you can see where you're turning, and you'll have like a lot bigger preview, so you don't have to waste time at a switch staying around. It's still encouraged to have like an escort. You never know if like a paraplane or a train's going to strafe you, so it's a good idea to have people escorting you. But if you want to go by yourself, you can. I wouldn't recommend it, especially with airplanes, but it is definitely possible. We also add a larger coal capacity across the board to all the trains, so we felt that it was really, really annoying that you'd have to refuel your train even though you had a coal car behind it. So I think we doubled it, and we might tune it down a little bit if it's too egregious, but like having to refuel and like scrounge your coal over the place was just annoying. And players were using infantry cars as like coal tenders when that's not really what we intended them for. We wanted them to be more like a mid-combat vehicle to move players around. So we just made the coal tender just a lot better so it could actually be used. And that way we actually can encourage people to use the boost mechanic a lot more on the train, which makes them go faster and it's more engaging and people actually have to pay attention because, again, we're trying to make the game more attentive play.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. I forgot that was a feature.
Yeah. Talk about no, we're not there yet. Sorry. Also, we wanted to address how vehicles are reserved in this game. For a lot of vehicles that can't be put in a stockpile, so like upgraded vehicles and other stuff, we found it really annoying that players had to use a crane to store it. Like no one actually in real life uses a crane to like transport, vehicles. And they're also really vulnerable to air attacks, especially warden vehicles going and getting killed by like suicide dive bombers or one-way bombers and stuff. So we thought we'd add or change a facility building to address this. So also, it wasn't really respectful of the players' time that, they would have this BT or battle tank or other expensive materials that could just be killed with 4 tremolas or 3 cutlers. We think that there is definitely a place for partisan play and facility raiding, but we don't think like that should happen as much. So we're reworking the field modification center. The field modification center, just like the garage, it can collect mud. It still can upgrade vehicles. The building itself can be squad or regiment locked and reserved. We're adding also individually set codes for emergency access, so you'll have this squad lock, but you also can type in a 6-digit code that a player can set, so you can just access it. We're reducing the building cost because they're going to be more storage, like the upgrading part is secondary. Very few people actually use the upgrading portions of it. The transfer history is all going to be logged. If the field modification center is destroyed, the vehicle, unfortunately, inside of it will be crushed. So that's kind of our balance. We don't want to punish our partisan players too much, but we think that there needs to be a healthy balance where you could protect your expensive asset, but at the same time, it still needs to be destructible. You don't, just because it's in here doesn't mean it's safe, if that makes sense.
Just to check up on time real quick. Real quick. We do have a meeting with the investors coming up, so just make sure we are moving ahead on schedule.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Also, one thing, guys, Trevor is okay. He hasn't died yet, so
he's on number 7, I think. Number 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So like I said, these can be locked now. You, if you're in a plane, it's really hard to see where what's inside one of these. But if you're on foot, you can see through the glass quite easily. So we want to encourage more on scout footing, not just using scout planes to everything. I don't know if we should let people get trapped in these. We might fear that they'll be used for jails, but we'll see.
I think that's an intended gameplay mechanic.
It's pretty funny when you trap someone in there.
It is really funny.
Yeah.
And when it gets destroyed, the entire building sort of squashes down like a can, like gets turned into a can.
We
gets crushed basically.
We may not change the ragdoll physics, because if you get crushed in one of these, your players goes flying. And we thought we'd just keep that in for a couple wars, and we might change it later because it looks ridiculous, but it's really funny. So we thought to keep it in. Also, a long time suggestion has been an armored train. So this is the Thomas. It's a variant of the Black Bolt. It's considerably expensive. It's much slower than the normal train, but it comes with different advantages. So it has same speed forward and reverse. So it's used for much more combat application. The crew compartment is completely enclosed, so you can't get killed out of it.
Can't get sniped.
Yeah, you can't get sniped by aircraft or other means. But again, it's I think 70% the speed. So you still want to be using the Black Bolt for most occasions if you're just doing logistics. But if you're
you bring it to the front,
yeah,
and when you bring it to the front, with the armored compartments, the carriages, that's what it's meant to be. So we're basically bringing armored trains into the fold, because before, when you'd have an armored train, you'd have to reverse it into combat because you wouldn't be able to go head first with the locomotive. But hopefully this one should really allow for some more ballsy strategies.
Yeah. And because it's also, again, it has a boost feature that makes it go really fast but eats up a ton of coal.
Catapult I've seen people using the Thomas tank engine mod. Will it work?
No.
The new train?
We're really sorry. Yeah, you'll have to.
I'll have to make a new mod.
Yeah, they're gonna have to update that one.
Yeah. It's also got a really nice whistle. It's got actually this really menacing horn. We thought it'd be really cool to have these epic moments where the train comes in and just demolishes everything. This thing's also a tank, by the way. It's got, I think it's T2 tank armor, and it's got armor comparable to a battle tank. So these can be used either in the front or in the reverse of a battle train line. And we thought
it's really beefy.
Yeah, these are really cool. We thought that the battle trains were really cool, but they had such a limited capability because the train itself was the problem. So again, it can go equal speeds forward and reverse, so it can poke, and we might have more train expansions in future updates. We just thought to get this one out. So more to follow. Ping pong, do you want
This one's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is mainly my idea with the concrete mixer trucks. So we know, how we all love our ambulance variants. So we decided to have some builder QOL for this update as well. So typically the problem with building as a tier 3 would arise with the availability of concrete. You didn't really have a supportable solution. So you'd make all your concrete in like a stationary mixer or a facility building, but then you have to transfer it. So we just decided to make a new variant of the ambulance, the concrete mixer, that can help to deliver concrete to front lines in a more compact solution. That doubles as the mixer like facility building itself. So you could go out the back into the UI, and it has the option to queue up the beton, the lovely little beton. So I can see this being good for a couple things, but the Warden one's really good. It's quite quick. It's about the same speed as a fire engine. It holds about 3 pallets worth of concrete. So the current pallet, what is it, 120?
Yeah, 120.
This one carries 360.
Yeah.
So it's got quite a lot of concrete in there, despite its size.
Yeah, it's meant to help players, pour in their tech-3 bases, because before it'd be like this whole operation.
Yeah.
We thought we could just use a vehicle for this, and it would be much better. We had previous plans all the way back in, like, I think the alpha build for a concrete mixer. We just didn't add it, so we thought it would be time to. You want to go to the Colonial one?
Yeah, go for it.
Sure.
So this one's like worse than the Warden one in every way. It carries about half of it, so about, say, 200 concrete. No real particular reason. There's no like law for it. It's just worse in every single way functionally.
Also,
So
the
probably gonna have
crew
to steal
size
one.
is wrong. It's only a crew size 1, not crew 2.
Yeah, there's no passenger seat. There's actually
no
some
buddying.
machinery in the passenger section, so you can only have the driver.
No buddying with anyone, guys. I'm sorry.
No. It's also a lot slower as well, because the colleagues, they use like really, in the lore, they use like really weird steel alloys, like pig iron. It's like really dense, horrible, so it's just got bad acceleration. But yeah, that's it for the concrete mixers. I think nothing else to note. This one just sucks. You might as well steal the Ward one. I'm sorry. That's just how it has to be. That's just how it has to be. I'm sorry. The colleagues don't deserve anything good. I'm going mask off.
Yeah, it's kind of been a long time coming.
It's just inevitable. So we go to the next slide. Let's see what else we have in store for you this update.
All right.
More facility stuff.
Does Defender, you want to take this?
Yeah, so this one it took a while, but we kind of like during the design process. Currently, Siege Camp Big Intern is not here at the moment to be able to talk about this. He's actually out in the field on an undisclosed location, actually working on designing naval vehicles. But anyways, he helped actually design this. So UI for underground pipelines added. So especially if like overhead pipelines can be built at angles, this was an issue. We've received a lot of feedback about this. Pipeline collisions have been fixed to prevent players getting stuck. As you saw, like a lot of players would complain about how they would hop over a pipeline and then they'd just like be in like doom spiral of just spinning around, spamming spacebar, trying to click around, not be able to hop around. And then pipelines now being able to cross hexes. This one took a very long time. We weren't even sure how to really do that in the first place. Like, it was similar to getting the rails across hexes in terms of like technical issues, but what we realized we could do is actually just directly copy the code that allows rails across hexes. We just copy and pasted that over, and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Should be any bugs with it. It's like identical.
Perfect. Yeah. Also, the overheads can be built at angles now. We extended the amount of overhead so that they could potentially cross some rivers and terrain features, so that you're not just arbitrarily stuck. We don't want to use underground pipelines for that because just the code doesn't work too well. But the overheads can definitely be used across larger ones. Perfect. Let's go to our next video.
Finally.
Finally, actually, though.
I think the pawn players will be really excited for that one.
Guys, shut up.
Yeah. Got the pawn DD.
All right, so we're going to go over some map changes. So we changed how NPC structures, they're actually tied to the relic based now. So if we try to change around the placement of things, they don't matter anymore. So we can rebuild coastal guns, safe houses, whatever. We don't have those issues anymore with this update. So
No more cooked on safe house bug, guys.
yeah,
Congratulations.
it's finally been fixed. Please stop making the Reddit post about it.
Yes,
It's been a
please
lot of
leave us
time.
alone. Unironically, like so many players were asking about this, and it's just like we're working on it. It takes a lot of time. We just like, yeah, it was. This one has been in the making. We've been working on it.
Yeah.
The amount of like unpaid hours I had to do to freaking rewrite the code to make it work, I couldn't even like begin to tell or explain. Dude, I have freaking trauma from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've added. Well, I don't think girth is the proper word, but we just made the rivers a lot wider so we can have two-way traffic on a lot of colonial rivers.
I don't want this to happen.
Well, yeah,
I've said multiple times I didn't want this to happen.
it was a huge debate issue, especially when it comes to balance. So, like, we weren't intending colonial like naval passage to be this easy. We thought to add some obstacles to it to slow them down, but we think
It's
that
already good enough for them.
okay, but we don't need to address that too much. We addressed the roads that just lead to nowhere. They break randomly. This was really frustrating, especially in Silicon Shelf. There's just a road that just broke up randomly, and we decided to fix it because a lot of players
Don't know why
complained.
the main development team even did that. It doesn't even make sense. You just patch it.
Mhm.
So we fixed the Silicon one as the biggest offender.
Right. We also there's a lot of been floating trees and tree stumps, especially around border regions and Umbral and whatnot. We just did a whole pass. We got rid of those. They look unsightly.
This one was really tedious. It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of hours
having to
went
go
into that.
through, find every single tree that's floating, every single tree stump. Yeah, this one we were really
Not even
tempted to
Grok
just
could
use
help us.
Grok. Yeah, Grok was. We were
Not
trying
even
to
Grok could
create
help
Grok.
us.
It was really hard.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, there's some promotional video that we were making, and I was like, yo, why not we just use Sora AI? And then the whole like Sora AI getting shut down, bro, that was like
That's
the
freaking devastating. I was like,
Yeah, that was
"Oh."
devastating.
Yeah, perfect. We also addressed there was a lot of spots where players, especially with freighters, were getting stuck in some shallow water. We've just lowered the seafloor. Especially same thing with submarines. We had people get stuck with submarines and have to unstock and dev tickets. We just lowered the seafloor in most places all around, especially just to avoid this issue. Players being sent to the void, for lack of a better word, when they cross in the region. This happened a lot between Lockmore and Deadlands. You would just cross the region and you just be sent under the world to go suffocate and die. Or we just changed. We added a solid layer so it doesn't hurt as much. That doesn't happen as much. And we're also reintroducing cross ocean travel. So it's going to change a little bit. It's not going to be how it was previous. If you want to cross an ocean, you need to be in proximity of a large ship. So, and the same thing for aircraft, you can't cross it as an aircraft. So we want to encourage people to use carriers a little bit more. We saw in the previous update in Airborne, the carriers were just being used like as a defensive tool. We want to give them like an offensive capability that no other aircraft can have. I don't know if Big Intern, I don't know if he's back yet. Are you there? He's just chilling out. Okay. Well,
I think Big Intern is still meeting with the well, we can't say who it is, but yeah.
Yeah, but he's like our naval expert. He's been watching that a long time. So
Oh wait, hold on. He just sent me a DM. Something he did want to mention. I don't know if did we go over naval much in this update? I
No,
believe we
unfortunately
don't.
not.
It's already got a lot
So
of
something
content.
for Trident players to look forward to is we may be shortening the Trident by 50%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's still in the works.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to say that. It's like unconfirmed. I'm trying to work it out, man. Like the model's just
Sorry.
too big.
I think
We're working on it.
I think we can cut down the Trident by at least 30% at least. Like
You're
that's
gonna have
something
to
we know we can
compromise.
do, but we may need to compromise on
You're
certain
gonna have
things.
to make it turn. You're gonna have to make like turn more, or like get rid of the naval gun on top. I don't know. Maybe get rid of the torpedoes. God knows.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be weird.
Again, it's a work in progress of the Trident.
Perfect. We've also redone developer place rails, especially like in colonial regions. When it comes to the map change, I know Ping Pong wasn't happy about this. We heard long,
Really not happy.
but we eventually decided that we should, instead of we just made them a lot easier to interact with and set up like just logical places to set up rails and just streamlined it through. So there's more loops that we placed in, not just only in colonial regions, but also some modern ones. I think like Brody Town got a huge rework. It's just to make it more enjoyable, and we don't have like the stress of people building rails incorrectly around Logi hubs. So we contacted some key players and we just basically pre-built them. So if it's like around a big Logi town, especially ones with depots or seaports, like it's already been done, it's already been made perfectly. So there's no more stress of having to demolish because the player didn't know how to properly build one.
Oh, sorry. There is now a little pond in Reaching Trail, so you can put a DD there if you want.
Wait, that's
little
not
cool thing.
Oh, it's next side. Don't spoil it.
Yeah, actually no. We
It's all
went
good.
over.
He's one of the newest interns. He's one of the newest interns. It's all
Yeah.
good.
I
Sorry.
didn't hire you, man.
Yeah, we also added a map indication so you can see if a vessel's anchored versus unanchored on the map, just to let you know if you can transfer it there.
It also, by the way, before we move on to the next one, map indicated for anchor versus unanchored ships, you can actually select with the new API and integration, you can select ships on the map. So if you want to monitor a certain ship, like if you're a partisan, you can monitor it from when it unanchors. So you'll receive a direct DM through whatever social media or like whatever if you want a phone call, and you will be directly notified if like, oh shit, Sam is taking their battleship out. You can get a direct phone call.
Yeah. Perfect. Are we ready to go to the next slide?
Yep.
So we also have some UI changes to go around. So we have the ranker progress meters. We thought these were important to add. They used to be in the game. We took them out. I don't know why. It's just good for players to know. It doesn't add too much to the game, but we just want to add like these little tiny bits and pieces that people are asking for a long time.
It's really good if you're trying to get boosted.
Yeah.
Like really good. It's just so you know how many commands you need to trade.
So you can now turn the chat or squad UI can be toggled on and off without turning off the rest of your HUD. I know some players want like a more immersive experience, especially for people who are trying to stream the game or record. You want to be able to use your UI, but you necessarily don't want to have to look at world chat, which can be unsightly at times. We forgot to add there's also a squad search feature, so you can just search the name for a squad instead of having to like scroll down and like look for it. We also have personal map markers. You can make a limited amount of these. They're just stored on your local machine. So if you're trying to store things or remember where things are, you can just make them. We thought this
And they're limited per hex. So you can have, I think the math is up to like 100 plus. So like per hex, you're limited to at least having 10. So if you expand this across like all the hexes, you can have almost basically as many as you want. And we hope players actually can find new ways to use these. Like we know map posts disappear all the time. And so hopefully this may be able to address like a very long seated issue that's been kind of honestly, we should have addressed this a lot earlier.
Perfect.
Sorry.
Yeah, you were saying?
No, I just needed to cough. You know how those colonial twos are.
Yeah, sorry. We also have personal or squad regiment map overlays. So there's not going to be public ones. We don't want to have to moderate these. So, but now you can draw just directly on the map, and then you can have squad drawings or whatever. These are just stored on your local machine. So you can also export them as a file. So if you're trying to share intelligence, you don't have to use a third-party application. We're trying to discourage third-party application use. We're not against it, but we want to make sure that people who don't have these third-party tools aren't at like a disadvantage.
It's all about accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of accessibility, in the screenshot as well in the bottom left, you can actually see where we've added in the lake in the Reach and Trail.
We just made this
so
ice
there's
patch.
no more having to import or pay ridiculous charges for buying water from people in like Speaking Woods or Howe County. But trust me, if I had it my way, I would have had like a great colonial dam just to mirror it, to be fair, just to get rid of.
And
all
you
the
can
great
fit a
art.
dockyard in there, right?
Yeah.
We can fit dockyards. We did make that.
I think so. There's like maybe one spot where you can have like an aircraft carrier if you want, maybe like a white whale or something. I don't know.
Perfect.
Yeah, white whale. Let's be careful about mentioning that. That will be in a later future update. We do want to return to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Oopsies.
somebody wants to build, a battleship in Brody Town, they can do so. But, yeah.
White whale in Brody Town.
Yeah. Rails on minimap. You can't see this too well, but now that when you're going into any kind of vehicle on a minimap, you can just see the rails going around the place. So it's not too essential, but it's just a small little thing that we thought to add. Lastly, Trevor messed up with the logo here, but the fuel gauges on trains for the small and large ones, they don't reflect the individual coal you're on. They reflect the total amount of fuel you have left. So we thought it just more indicative because it just would show you how many the coal progress you're going through. It didn't really tell you anything, and people would have to stop to see how much coal they had. We thought just to change that. It just shows you how much you have in reserve.
Yeah, we don't want people stopping on the rails to check fuel. Just do it yourself now.
Just available.
Yeah.
So when we cross ocean travel, so we consulted with Big Intern, who's still having technical difficulties. But these are kind of the spots you can change. Here's the colors. You won't be able to cross everywhere just because of the maps laid out, unfortunately. But there's going to be designated crossing zones, and again, you'd need a large ship to cross these. If you want to be in a small ship, you can still cross these because otherwise naval invasions would be a lot more difficult than they already are. But you need to be in proximity of another large ship, so that could be a long hook, and the radius is pretty wide. I think it's 100 meters. So it's just so that we want to encourage if you're going to cross the ocean, you need an invasion force. It's not going to be little raids.
It can't be Private Timmy and his motorboat.
No,
it's
no,
just
no.
You need to be with invasion.
Yeah, if you're crossing the ocean, you're bringing in a flotilla, and we think it also would be great places. There's expected avenues of approach, so that way you can foresee invasions coming, and people can better plan about making defenses, whether it be onshore artillery or otherwise. All right, let's keep going. Perfect. Lastly, for our UI quality of life, the user interface, we just took a lot of clutter out so people have more experience. Again, less reliance on third-party tools to supplement in-game intelligence deficiencies. So we think that's a lot of reliance on third-party tools is just a product of bad game design. So we're trying to make it.
Can I take a part here real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Something I wanted to address real quick, and I think a lot of players will kind of get an idea from this stream and this update, and the general theme is we're recognizing that there's been a massive resurgence in third-party tools being used, and we recognize that that's partly on us and how we've been designing the game. And if players are having and needing to use third-party tools to supplement the game, that's on our fault. We are not going to necessarily try to discourage or blame players for using third-party tools, but we recognize that at the end of the day, we need to do a better job in making sure that we offer options for players so that they do not have to use third-party tools.
Yeah, we're not
and for the record, we don't hate them.
Yeah,
we don't hate them. It's just that we want to provide all the tools for you new players, just to we'll have them readily available in game.
Yeah, perfect. We also want to just reduce burnout, easier information to find, and just provide the player with more information if they want to seek it.
It'll help them get lost as well. All these new
well,
changes,
ideally
they're
not.
just gonna,
Ideally not.
Yeah, there's going to be less of them getting lost, especially on the rail networks. And then, of course, security fixes. Lots of security fixes. A heck of a lot of security fixes.
A lot.
A lot.
Oh, there we go. Right. So for some gameplay, the big one has been 14.5 millimeter. We think that it's been in a really poor state for many, many wars. We've heard
too many.
Yeah. Ping Pong, you want to take this away?
Yeah, mate.
You have some strong opinions about this.
So, oh god, I was a massive fan of the Highwaymen before I got Nerfed, so this is partially my doing. So making 14.5 great again. For too many wars now, it's been pretty muted in its ability to actually counter tanks. So we want to sort of bring it back to into the parameters of the old AT rifle, the Warden ATR. Because before it used to be able to, at least deter, not maybe kill, but at least deter colonial tank lines. So making 14.5 an effective anti-tank weapon again will really help to bring back some dynamic infantry anti-tank gameplay. So similar to rifles, the damage will of course inversely scale with range, so the closer you are to the tank, the better, the higher velocity you've got. Damage has been increased of a lower penetrance on late game armor. So think of your predators, your Ares. They're not going to be too concerned with the small 14.5 mil round coming their way. And 14.5 mil special weapons had been removed. The change, the part of this change I'm most excited with is the Highwayman is actually coming back. It's going to be crazy. If we go to the next bit of the slide.
Wait.
I do you want to mention also is the Percutio,
boys,
the B is also getting buffed.
The what?
Wait, just got disconnected.
Disconnected. Oh god. But yeah, the prosciutto, Percutio, prosecco,
Wait,
the collie like 80. Huh?
My account is suspended. Oh,
Your account
Took
is-
us down.
way.
We got taken down. No way.
No way.
We got taken down. That's crazy. We got taken down. We got taken down.
Dude, this is
Oh my
wild.
god. Dude, did anybody record the entire stream?
Yeah, I got it.
Do we have a
We didn't even
VOD at
finish.
least or anything?
No way.
didn't finish.
We didn't even get to the best slide.
No.
Dude, what?
Dude, Tingo
Community
posted the
managers
last
win.
slide.
Hey, just stay tuned.
Yeah, the reason why he's an intern is because of nepotism.
Truth Nuke.
Okay, intern recruit should be.
Intern recruit, you have access.
Catapult, look at general.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay,
Let me change.
I just gave Siege Camp recruit.
Okay, we should be starting anytime soon now.
Okay,
huh?
where's recruit?
Guys, we're gonna be
Get on the
late.
stage.
Alright, tell him to hop in.
We're gonna start off. I assume we're starting off from where we were, so I will go from.
Yeah, we'll just give a
few
quick
up into the
summary.
Highwayman. I think we were finished on the Highwayman anyway.
Yeah. We're gonna just do a really quick summary of for people who missed it. Here's again. This none of this is
Okay,
real.
lock in. Get in character.
We did some videos. We went over. If I can skip this. Stockpiles, refineries, garages, aircraft hangars, freighter changes, tow truck, facility changes, foundations, trains. You can lock these now. Armor train, concrete mixer. Oh, site recruit.
Is that intern
It is
recruit?
indeed. We have a new
Yes, we
intern.
do have Siege Camp recruit here. Perfect.
Okay, perfect.
How's your day
Junior
going? by
vibe
the way?
coder.
All right.
Mr. Siege Camp recruit.
Okay, we went
Doing
over
well, it's doing
some
well.
UI changes,
Yeah, okay, nice.
and then I believe we left off here with the 14.5 millimeter.
Let's play the video again.
Yeah.
Let's play the video again.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
the video does a really good job showing like just how much work we've put into this.
All right, so ping pong, if you want to take it off, before
Yeah,
we're so
I'll-
rudely
I'll-
interrupted.
Before we were rudely interrupted, my goodness. Okay, so 14.5 reverted back to its previous state as the absolute nightmare for tankers on both colonial and warden factions. Because back in the day, it used to be able to significantly at least annoy tanks. And then when we changed it to only like get rid of armor and it didn't do much damage, we didn't really like that. So we reverted it back to its old powerful state. So the damage has been increased, but there's a lot of penetration chance on like heavier armor types. So for your predators and your Ares, it's not going to pen as much, so it's not going to be as much of an issue. But for light tanks like the Hatchet and the Devitt, you're going to have to look out for somebody with a a Typhon or a Neville ATR. And the damage inversely scales with range, similar to rifles, so it'll do more damage at close range. And beyond its white line, it will, barely do anything. And then 14.5 special weapons have been removed. So I assume, what's that, like the Greyhound? The bolters? Yeah, they've done away with. They were too powerful. Nobody likes getting one shot by an anti-tank weapon, so we just got rid of them. The ATR was good as is, so there we go. But the best part about this change actually is the Highwayman. The Highwayman is becoming a lot more powerful again. It will be able to actually do something as opposed to being a completely useless vehicle. As well with the prosciutto, the prosecco, prosciutto, the ATR wagon the collies have, that thing that exactly gets used. That will come back. You'll be able to flank a Devitt with it and kill it in a couple of shots or something. I don't know. W prosciutto. Okay. Is there anything else on this slide?
Yep. Let's go over.
Okay. I can keep going if you want.
Yeah, go.
I think a lot of
Cool.
people may be really excited for this one. Like, honestly,
Oh, yeah.
we've received a lot of complaints.
So as a partisan enjoyer and a partisan advocate, a long-time partisan advocate on the team, the intern team, I hated this change from the outset. So ADR pillboxes, they don't shoot back at infantry anymore, even though the accuracy was slightly off. They just don't shoot back anymore. It makes partisaning a heck of a lot better in the back lines. It was a bit of a silly change. So they're gone. We've listened to community, and no more pill forests, no more ATR box forests. They're done away with.
Right.
Go again.
Yeah, we also wanted to
One of the issues.
Go ahead.
One of the issues we noticed with the AT pillbox was when we actually did introduce the ability for AT pillboxes to shoot infantry, we noticed that rifle pillboxes and MG pillboxes were being used a lot less, and players were spamming mostly just AT pills at this point. And it used to be back in the day that people would actually spam a mix of pillboxes, and so part of the reason why we're adding this change in is just to make sure that we still maintain parity across the different variations of pillboxes that are available. So instead of only just spam, like the thing is, no pillbox should be able to do a bit of everything. In fact, pillboxes should be specialized in one thing, whether it be AT or killing infantry or just being like a generally good 360 coverage. And so we hope that this may be able to bring back the sort of mixture of pillboxes that can be expected on the front line.
Right.
We want a good mix.
And this is something that a lot of people have been annoying us for. So, Charlie, you want to take it from here? I know this is a contentious issue.
Oh, the what? Sorry, I was scrolling.
The cranes.
Yeah, the cranes.
Stop watching Kurikaku.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So cranes are no longer faction locked. We liked how we saw crane walls along Foxcatcher last war. That's very interesting to see. But we kind of want to get rid of wasting BMATs on so many cranes, and we want to see more stuff happen that will influence the game and throw a wrench in people's plans. So we love our vision of like a continual war, but sometimes things happen in war that just completely turn the tables. So cranes are no longer faction locked, so you'll be able to hop into enemy cranes, which will allow the controversial topic of tap ops to happen. But those are game changing things that'll happen. Again, you'll require a wrench, so that's going to be your little negative about it. Oh, you can't carry all RPG and cutler. You're going to have to carry your wrench with you.
Yeah, so to clarify, going through some community feedback, we've made all vehicles, they're called faction locked. So if you're an enemy vehicle, you need a wrench to get into a crane regardless now. So we hope that this has unintended other effects, such like we see that there's a lot of locked trucks that people put on the front lines that just sit there and you have to go find a wrench to take it back. Most of them, we talked with players, they lock them because they don't want enemies to steal them or use them to block defenses. This makes it so they have to have a wrench and then they're usable for other players. It also allows for QRF vehicles to kind of sit and be a little bit more safe. I don't think leaving a tank in the open is the best idea, but it just means that you're protected mainly against scout planes. at the moment. You won't just have people diving on scale planes without having any of the unintended negative consequences that we had. Perfect. Let's continue. So this one, I know people may be a little up in arms about the accessibility settings. So what we saw on the video was just a little preview. We want to ensure that, like, people who are playing the game, regardless of, like, if they have like visible disabilities or audio disabilities, they can still enjoy the game that we all love them. So we noticed that there's been a lot of discontent between user-made mods to address this issue and people calling out foul play. So again, we thought we'd step in and we just add the setting so you can change it between red-green color blind, and it's just to make the game more accessible for more people. There's also subtitled narrated gameplay. We don't think this would be used too much, but it was just a really
Do we want?
Go ahead.
Do we want intern recruit to talk about the chatting UI and like how much work this took?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead.
let's give him his chance.
Has just been taking so much work. I've been working nonstop, 18-hour days for probably around the last 2 months now. That's why I've been.
Yeah, we
missing,
like
honestly.
barely see you ever around the office. Actually, it's kind of insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. They've got me locked away in a dungeon, working on this all day, all night. I don't even
Are you
get
proud of
coffee anymore.
like, where you've gotten? Do you think this is? Do you think the place is going to be happy with what you have here?
Oh, absolutely. Everyone would be amazed with this. We're currently working on a subtitle version where it converts squad and local chat to subtitles. Also, for those who are hard of listening to, like commands.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
I think that's pretty much it, though.
Yeah, and these little dots that go above, for people who don't have access to a microphone or don't want to speak, this little dots just tells you that someone's typing, because we've had people come up, like especially around seaports, and they just stand there and you're like, what's going on? But they're just trying to type a message, right? So this just lets like the person is typing and not just standing there idly or AFK. So it just to harbor communication. I think it helps a lot. Oh, I guess Trevor didn't add this for the enter, but we increased the range of radars, like air detection radars, I think twofold, but there's a little bit of a downside. There's resolution. So the radar will be able to detect a plane from farther away, but what kind of plane it is and exactly where it is not going to be so clear. It kind of is like represented as like a circle, and it's anywhere within that circle. And as closer it gets, like within the original range, that like it's 100% accurate, but it's just so that you can have more time to prepare and get fighters in the air. But you don't know exactly how many. You don't know. You just know there's something in the air and it's coming relatively in which direction. So we thought this would be a great way to address a lot of the bomber concerns. Go ahead.
Something we do want to talk about real quick with the radar is also like with the new API integration that we have is also that when there are enemy planes within the vicinity of a radar, you can set so specific radars will actually send you a phone call. They will tell you what plane type is detected. And currently we're also thinking about having air raid sirens going off. So this would be a player built air raid siren that you can spread around within the hex. However, we're also thinking about maybe having it so that you can set an AI voice that will announce besides the siren, and you can set like what kind of voice, what that voice sounds like, but that's still very much in the works at the moment.
Yeah, AI integration is really important for moving forward. Another just minor small things, we have hospitals. If the hospital contains bandage, you can just heal yourself up, just kind of like a med kit. I think that's been a long time changed. We might take that away depending on player feedback. And the big thing is squads, where the squad leader, they're represented by a marker on the compass. You can also see them where they are on the map now. If you make a squad map post, it also has a different color indicator where it is. So if you place a map post, say like on a front line, you'll see like the yellow arrow, which is your squad leader, and then like maybe a pink or blue arrow, depending on what color they set it, as like a different objective. So it could be really nice for integration or making rally points. It just makes it much easier to go to and coordinate players, especially if you don't have like Discord integration or if you don't have third-party tools. Again, we're trying to make it so that you don't have to use third-party tools. We're not discouraging them. We just want to make sure that you're able to do it, have the same level of without having to rely on these. Squad search function, you can just type a name of a squad and you can find it. This has been long overdue. People have been wanting this for a very, very long time. Instead of having to scroll through endless amounts of squads, you could just type the name and it'll just filter. So I don't know if anyone has anything else to add on that.
Nothing else, but massive for QL.
Yeah, this one's
massive
great.
QL.
Yeah, big QL.
Yeah. Perfect. So some other vehicles, I don't believe they'll be available in this update. That's subject to change, but Ping Pong, you want to take a gander on this?
Yeah. So same story really as the concrete mixers. The colonials are getting SPAA, the ones are getting SPA as well, but they're getting a modification to their half track. What else can I say? It's got a single 20mm gun on the back. You can hop in. It can aim upwards, similar to how the EMGs can aim upwards to shoot enemy aircraft. You have the driver, the passenger, and the gunner in the back. No other seats other than that. Yeah, it's pretty decent. It's low velocity as well, as it would be. So it's like 75% of the normal velocity, unfortunately. But oh well, can't have it all.
You want to
And
go
then if
to
we
the
look at the Warden
We also
one,
made
Yeah,
the
Warden one.
hitbox. So for
Oh, sorry.
hold on, real
Go on.
quick. For the
Go.
Warden one, I mean Colonial one, we also made it so that the hitbox register is actually larger for the Colonial player model, so it'd be a
Yeah.
lot easier to decrew these for Warden planes.
Mhm.
they're just a bit bigger.
It's because the Wardens don't have a dive bomber, so they needed a way to interact with these. All right,
Yep.
and then here's the
Speaking
Warden.
speaking of the dive bomber, this thing is meant to completely get rid of them. Good luck trying to bomb this thing with a dive bomber, because this is just going to eviscerate it on approach. If you can get more than one bomb off on this thing, I will be very impressed. It's got crazy good mobility because it's the Warden half track. 4 high velocity 20mm guns on the back. Still 3 crew, so it's not too insane, but you know, what can you do really? And the little shields on the front make it so that you can't really decrew them as easily, especially if you're hitting it head on. So it's just going to really just nuke any collie plane out of the atmosphere. I'm sorry, that's just how it needs to be.
Sorry to cut you
And
off.
they're
The
up in arms
hitbox on
about it.
these are also smaller. So
They're also smaller. It's also small.
while looking at this, like if you were a collie plane trying to shoot at it, you would probably actually have a hard time properly aiming the reticle. We purposely made it so the hitbox is constantly moving. So the vehicle could be stationary, but the hitbox is 50% smaller and it's constantly moving around in a circle. Predisposed by like some sort of
You
axis.
just need to be good.
So
You just need to be good.
yeah, you just need to be good at the game,
Just
basically.
be good.
Oh, I should add
Yeah.
as well. People are saying that there's collie bias, or sorry, Warden bias. Do you have any words to address on this? You want to touch upon why we decided to make this one better?
Not necessarily. I mean, the collie faction, they just don't deserve anything good. To be quite frank, at least in my opinion. That's why we gave the Wardens like the best kit they have available that we could ever
I think
create them.
I think that's a little too far. I think
Nah, it's
really our
completely
vision
valid.
is more. I think our
It's valid.
vision. I think our vision more aligns with that. We want to give more tools to the Warden faction because the Collie faction is the PvE faction, right?
Yeah, that's right.
They have the PvE tools, they spam stuff. The Wardens need to have stronger tools and be able to counter that, right? Grit and skill faction versus like just spam, right?
The
Yeah.
Wardens are more like team based, and so we need something for the collies to do solo that'll get them an edge in the war.
All right, perfect. You want
It's
to move
quite
on?
dynamic at the end of the day. Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah, we can move on.
Oh, we have a little bit of
Okay.
a sneak peek of future.
What is this?
So
You know,
Why are you showing
Can I go
this?
on
This is
this?
still in development.
Yeah, but we want to show the players what we're up to after this
Alright.
update. We think.
I worked hard on this.
do you want me to say stuff about it?
Go ahead.
So we heard all of the stuff. I'm an NG main myself, and we heard all of the stuff about the wanting a caving update. And so, as a prelude to this, just so we can get some sort of feel of the community for this, we're doing a little tiny soft launch. So instead of the covered undergrounds, you'll now have these upgrades to the normal trenches that will put dirt on top of them, and they'll be your kind of like digging underground. It's going to be like, this is just a hint of what's to come later on, But if you like combine multiple of these, you can make your own little NG underground like city. So it's gonna be very immersive. We'll also add
We got the idea from
modifi-
Bismarck, if I'm going to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
We'll add modifications. You'll be able to add modifications to these to add little lanterns, so at night you can see better. It'll be really immersive. It'll be one of the more aesthetically pleasing parts of this game. And then also over time, all this dirt you'll see after, if it doesn't like get damaged or things, like if you dig this and leave it in the back line, grass will grow over it and it'll look really pretty.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
a mole.
So,
Very much so.
Like a
I would
nomad.
like to add on also that our vision here is to further incentivize combined arms warfare and teamwork, so that not everything can be done by airplanes, but that there will also be certain areas that will need to get pushed by the infantry players themselves.
I'd like to see its planes try and strafe the inside of one of these.
Yeah. So as opposed to just having like radio silence, we thought that we'd announce like our intentions for updates, and then we'll have, you know, intermittent more dev streams so that players can see what we're building on. So there's not just this uncertainty of like what's happening. And if there's balance concerns, they could be addressed at an earlier state instead of the update on arrival coming out. And there's a lot of confusion going on, and we want just more transparency in how we develop updates in the future. You want to show them the other little teaser that we have in the work? Unfortunately, it won't be coming out for 65. It might come later in our timeline. Should we show them the other thing we're working on?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I
Alright.
think we should go for it.
Yeah. Does someone want to take over for this? Who's our facility guy?
Yeah, I think. I mean, well, currently one of the facility guys. Oh, actually, we have recruit here. Recruit.
Yeah.
You're one of the main facility guys. You want to talk
I
about
love
this?
facilities.
I love facilities. Yeah. So another thing I've been working on countless days and nights is our conveyor transport system. It's going to be able to convey your coal to different facts, so you don't need to log on and transport it manually like I do pretty much every day.
Well,
Talk about the sub feature.
Yeah.
The MSEP feature?
Yeah. So, I forgot you were not there for that meeting.
No.
So currently,
No, I
one of the
wasn't.
things we have planned for these conveyor transport systems is, instead of having to drive a truck and manually move subs directly from a facility that's printing subs to a sub tunnel, we can now actually hook these up directly, and they actually have undergrounds, by the way, similar to underground pipelines, and you can directly hook them up to sub tunnels. So from printer to sub tunnel, and they actually have half an sub cost. We were able to really work on server side client issues and
It's optimized.
address the problems with these. And
Very
we're
optimized.
pretty sure that this will be able to reduce a lot of workload and like the tedious parts of maintaining a facility.
Yeah.
and
we're-
also you'll be able to do this to, if you have a certain facility building, you'll be able to add this onto bases, and it'll make subbing big bases so much easier.
Yeah, and again, this is not designed. It won't work like it's completely automated. It still needs to be attended to. But think of it, either it works in two modes, right? You can either set it as autonomous, which is pretty slow, or you can use it actively, which speeds up the speed a lot. Right now, this is only meant for the wardens at the minute. We're working on a colonial counterpart, which is going to potentially be a little bit more mobile or have a different solution to it. So, but again,
It'll also probably be a little faster. One more thing for partisans
Faster.
who
Oh, we're
are
making it
looking at
slower.
this. Partisans may be really excited to know that there is actually some counterplay. You may be able to set up your own conveyor transport system and actually steal enemy supplies that are coming through. And there's ways that you can hide that. And we're exploring options in terms of finding new and innovative ways of stealing enemy supplies without them noticing.
Yeah. Someone asked if it can cross borders. No, sorry. These are meant to stay like within a facility.
You're not going to
Hey,
set
but
it up in the
the-
RDZ anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the
gonna get
pipes from
moved.
earlier can.
Oh
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
that
The
was
the pipes
shadowed.
can because if rails could cross, then pipes could cross. But this is we'll see.
Yeah, it doesn't make
definitely.
sense that these cross border. This doesn't
No,
make sense.
it's meant to like supplement within a facility to assist you, like moving stuff and reduce like the tedious nature of some like supplying bases. All right, and I think that's all we have for this dev stream. Sorry for the interlude. We had some technical difficulties. Yeah,
I don't
before
think
we
we're done just yet.
yeah, not
Right.
just yet.
Yeah.
Remember to check out the Q&A after the dev stream.
Yep.
We will be uploading an entire VOD of the dev stream soon. Do we know what YouTube channel that'll be going on? Are we sure?
I think
are we aware
you're
of that?
missing something, Tango.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not Tango, Catapult.
I think
Oh
it's,
yeah, that's right.
Alright, what is this shit?
Dude, these players are like, they ask for way
Yeah.
too much.
This is fucking hard, dude. It's not good.
I believe we don't even get paid for this. Like, what the fuck?
No, some of these players
Dear
are
Lord.
really entitled.
Nah. Keep fucking harassing us every
Honestly,
single
I'd
day.
rather deal with the Foxhole player
Oh,
base.
guys,
than, like,
we're not
the-
muted.
Ah,
Oh,
fuck.
okay.
Okay.
Shit, fuck,
Oh,
no.
whoopsies. Oh no.
And also, I'm seeing in the chat a lot of questions about the naval aspect. I can assure that we're looking into this, but it's requiring
Yo,
a lot
big
more
intern,
time.
the video's on.
Oh,
Catapult, can you check general, please?
Catapult.
Okay, yeah, be sure to check the Q&A, and we will be answering questions for the next like foreseeable few hours, and then of course we will be having the test server coming out soon. We'll announce that afterwards along with other patch notes. We were not able to talk about everything that we were releasing this update. However, there should be a test server coming out soon.
Yeah. So just keep your eyes on channels and everything, and we'll let you know. So thanks all for coming to our dev stream. Again, I'd like to reiterate that
Bro, you're streaming Discord.
He's streaming the Discord.